Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I have Neuro Coffee in hand and it is perfect. All right. We're in the midst of a very busy Tuesday. We're going to dig straight into today's Q&A. This is with Alec. Alec had a question in regards to the setup of a low oblique sit. And so we literally went step by step through this so that you do get a little representation there. And I threw up a photo so you can actually see the setup of the low oblique sit very clearly. The advantage here is that we can put people into an extra rotation space that they do have available. So as people get anteriorly posteriorly compressed, what happens to the external rotation is it's going to move away from midline. So if we put somebody in an oblique sit, we can actually line them up in their available space and then start to superimpose the internal rotation from distal to proximal and get the proximal change. So we start to get a shape change towards an IR representation of the pelvis. You'll typically use this probably more often in your wide ISA individuals, because if we take this wide ISA individual that's compressed A to P, lay them on their back, we don't usually get the shape changes that we're looking for. The side lying activities tend to be a better place to start with a lot of your wide ISAs. So thank you, Alec. It's going to be very, very helpful for a lot of people. Everybody have an outstanding Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow.
Maybe we could expand a bit more on oblique sit and what makes it a more IR than space, because I'm conceptually I'm trying to think it's like
Okay.
side lying having a kid with seated, but I guess this is a bit of rough around the edges representation.
How do you feel about getting on the floor, boss?
Oh, anytime.
Let's just do it, because then it's easy to see.
All right. Bit of light. And here we are. Okay, cool. All right, I'm on the ground.
All right. So just lay flat on your side. With your hips and knees bent 90 degrees.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. So this is a position where there's very little rotation available. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, because we're biasing everything into more IR represented, therefore there's less turn. Okay. Now, I want you to sit up, okay, and face the camera. Just sit up. Okay. Face the camera if you would, please. And scoot back just a little bit if you got space so we can see your legs a little bit. There you go. Now bend your knees and hips to 90 degrees. Awesome. So that's the same position that you were just laying in on your side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do is just slowly drop your left knee out to the side for me. No, just the left knee. Awesome. Is that more ER?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't change the relationship at all between your hips and your pelvis, and just tip over on the left side to your elbow. Stop right there. Put your left leg on the ground. No. Keep it bent. Just drop it down to the ground. So that's the same ER you just had, right?
Yeah.
But I just put the leg down on the ground. So I'm going to start to superimpose internal rotation on that ER position. Can you see that?
Well, conceptually, I have a hard time to see more. You said more ER or more IR?
The same position you were just in sitting. You dropped into ER and I just rolled you onto it. So I didn't change the hip position at all. It's still more ER. Okay. Now, hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me finish. Take your left wrist, pronate it towards the floor so you start to feel the medial elbow.
Yeah.
And then what you should have felt by doing that is that you shifted weight towards your left hip at the same time. Did you feel that?
I did.
Okay. And then you put pressure on the underside, which is actually the posterior aspect of the greater trochanter, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I did that.
So that twist. So what that does is it starts to twist the femur into IR, which pushes IR into the pelvis.
Yeah.
So what I did is I put you in an ER space and I started to superimpose IR on top of it, didn't I?
Yeah. Okay.
You get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can
So
play
so
with
is
your hip
is
position all day long in this scenario.
yeah. So is this like as I turn, I just like I did feel kind of my left leg want to go in a bit.
Well, you might not have that motion. I'm just showing you
No, no,
how
no.
this.
What I did kind of feel that like I like I get conceptually, I can visualize that like I'm kind of being delayed or immobilized a bit here by my point of contact, and then at the axial skeleton, I'm turning towards it. So necessarily, there's I'm biasing IR here, but
Well,
like
you might be orienting to get it.
oh okay.
It's coming from the other side, so to speak, right? Where you're actually turning your spine to get your leg down because you don't have that space yet.
Oh okay. But
So, oh,
okay.
can I just ask, when you put him like when he put his left knee out and you said to drop the knee down, so that's like the part where you want to cue, so you roll them a little bit? Because sometimes I just observe that when they cannot put the knee towards the floor, so they just don't have that motion, so oblique sit is not for them.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would want to have access to enough, like the requirement for that activity would be to have enough ER to go on the ground and then start superimposing. So me with my knee propped up here, this is where we can probably guess that I'm orienting somewhere else. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And in this position, when would you cue to shift the right knee a little bit forward, like
Maybe.
push to get the shift in the pelvis?
Yeah. If you're trying, so if you can do it without an orientation, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because all you're doing is you're just creating the turn, right? Through the you're trying to create a turn, right? I've got you in a bigger ER space, so I might have some turning capability available to me under those circumstances, right? But the idea of the orientation of the lower body is like, you just got to figure out, it's like, okay, what space do I have available to put you in to start, right? And then how can I create the gradient from one side to the other? So I got to create the delay on one side so I can capture the IR on that side. So I might have to advance the other side forward, which is what you're asking, right, Taya? So you're going to create a later representation on one side of the pelvis so I can create the delay on the other side. Now I actually have induced a turn. I'm still out here in ER space, but at least I'm starting to get the IR superimposed. So I start to capture more IR. Now I can start to turn them, right, into another position.